I don't even know if he's still our president. It's
I don't think
very like.
No, he's not. He's not. You know, Bob, he hasn't been, but he's
Was he ever?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
When was the last time? Well, so there are several reports. This came out July 22nd. This is from the New York Post. Top Dems threatened to forcibly remove Biden from office unless he dropped out. They also set him up to fail at the Trump debate. This according to White House insiders. So this came out on the 22nd of this month. Operatives at the highest level of the Democratic Party threatened President Biden with forcibly removing him from office unless he stepped down. The well-orchestrated palace coup to stop the faltering president from seeking re-election had been in place for weeks, but stubborn Biden fought it every step of the way. According to insiders, part of the elaborate strategy to remove Biden from the race was allowing him to debate Donald Trump on live TV to prove to everyone that he was not fit to be the nominee. So remember, we were like, why would they allow him to do this? This is weird. Why are they doing a debate in June before any of the conventions?
That was a great point.
This is earlier than ever before, and we kept pointing it out. And people were like, oh, you guys are weird conspiracy theories. But turns out, according to White House insiders, this has been the plan the entire time, is to push Joe Biden out. They did it. They put him out almost like a sacrificial lamb at the debate. They just, hey, we're going to go get fed to the wolves. And that's what they did. Because remember, we did a live town hall with 200 people, and everyone was astonished that was the leader of the free world that was up there during that debate with Donald Trump looking lost, freezing, questionably shitting his pants.
Yeah. Rob, let me ask you a question. I mean, dude, great point. We were talking about it before. Now, do you think, because, dude, the State of the Union was how many months before? How many months? 2?
January?
That was in March.
Couple months before, right, Robbie? They gave him drugs. He was there. He was talking to people, kind of started wearing out at the end. Do you think like this was a conscious choice where like the doctors, because dude, he probably has like 5 or 6 on staff. They told them like, yo, nothing for Joe today. And probably Jill and them were like, wait a minute. No. He needs the juice.
Even the day after, though, he looked at like 100 times more energetic than he did the day before. So after the debate with Trump, he came out, looked like an entirely different person when he was giving the speech the next day. So I think you're totally right. I think they deprived him of his adrenochrome or Adderall or whatever they give him.
Whatever. And mind you, though, and then dude, when you say a completely different Joe Biden, did you guys see the video after he announced and everything? He's walking the White House lawn. He's clearly taller than the regular Joe Biden.
Well, a lot of 81-year-olds get their growth spurts later in life. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
81 comes and I'll shoot up, Jake. But
Yeah.
it is odd. You look at photos of him, and each time you're like, I think the normal person, I'm not a normal person, so I understand that.
Yeah, because you watch porn, but go ahead.
Yes, and 9/11 videos. Not together, separately. It's not my kink. Like, oh, look at the towers go down and watch this girl go down, too. But I think the normal person looks at what's going on right now and has more questions and answers when it comes to Joe Biden, whether he's actually leading the country or if Kamala Harris is in charge. The reason I bring this up, I know that this is a week-old story, but it ties into something that came out on Sunday, which we will get to. But part of the way that they forced Joe Biden out was that they threatened to invoke the 25th Amendment to the Constitution, which shows that the president is unfit to serve and forced to step down by the vice president and members of his cabinet. So this is reported by the New York Post on July 22nd. Let's fast forward to this came out on Sunday. Obama threatened Biden with the 25th Amendment push. This, according to renowned journalist Seymour Hersh. He wrote about it on his Substack article or his Substack account. This is the BizPack article that they put out on Sunday, where they say that for nearly 6 days after Biden, for nearly 6 days during which he had suspended his re-election campaign, Joe Biden was not seen by the American people. While the White House physician provided updates on treatment for COVID, a new report from investigative journalist Seymour Hersh gives credence to claims of a campaign coup as he details how former President Barack Obama was, and I quote, deeply involved in changing the ticket. According to Seymour Hersh, he says, I went over reports this week with a senior official in Washington who helped me fashion an account of a White House in complete disarray. They say following Biden's abrupt departure from Nevada in July, do you remember July 17th, where there are reports that he had a medical condition? According to reports, the Air Force One flew back from Las Vegas to Washington, D.C. in like record time. It was like 3 hours, like quick, and they were reportedly going to rush him to Johns Hopkins. However, According to reports, that never took place. Hirsch's report suggests that Kamala Harris was actually on board with leading Biden to step out of the race when he was refusing to step out after that emergency. Then, according to Seymour Hersh, Barack Obama called him and said, listen, we have Kamala Harris on board. She is going to invoke the 25th Amendment. Wow. Either you step down or we're going to force you to step down.
Wow.
So the question becomes,
democracy.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, 14 million people voted for Joe Biden in the primary. So every time they yell that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, the people on the Capitol January 6th, where it was an insurrection, it was the worst thing we've seen since 9/11. Okay, well, if Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, is what's going on right now in the Democratic Party also a threat to democracy? Because 14 million people voted for Joe Biden to be the nominee in the primary, and now there's been a coup orchestrated by Barack Obama to put Kamala Harris in place because they know that Joe Biden cannot beat Donald Trump in November. So they put Kamala in place thinking that she has a chance. It did take a few days for Obama to come out and support her, but he did. The question becomes, is it actually a coup?
Yes.
Right? All the reports are saying that it is. But my question for you guys, is Kamala Harris more liked among Democrats than Joe Biden? I went and I looked at 538 for the disapproval ratings for both. Joe Biden has a disapproval rating of 55.4%. Kamala Harris has a disapproval rating slightly smaller at 51.2%. So according to 538, Kamala is actually the preferred person from that party, but the Democratic voters did not vote for her. So my question to you guys, it seems like Kamala is more popular. We look at what's going on. It's everywhere, right?
Yeah.
We did the white guys or we're going to do white guys for Kamala. Last week we did Kamala Harris, Weird Summer with Roger Stone.
Brat Summer.
Yeah.
Yes, Brat Summer. All of the news cycles, all of the support seems to be behind Kamala. It didn't seem like there was that support behind Joe. So do you guys think this is a coup, or do you think that Obama actually acted in the best interests of the Democrats by circumventing the actual voters to put in an actual candidate who stands a chance and is more liked than the one that was voted for by Democrats? And is that a problem?
No, it's a coup.
Rob, I got to ask you something real quick. That 538 data you just pulled, is that from like this week? Or?
Last night at like 11:30 at night.
I need you to go back, just because you have your computer, and look at what the disapproval ratings for Kamala Harris were last month.
Good. That's a great point. I can actually
find
do that
out, because
I know
her disapproval ratings were spectacular as of very recently. But then once
okay, you're right.
Yeah, once the shift started where they trotted by, like, go back to before the debate, basically.
January, so we'll go to January because it says January 1, 2024, her disapproval rating was at a 55.5%. So that is up from where it currently is, which is 51.2%. Its lowest at any point has been, let's see, May of 2021. So all the way back in 2021, her disapproval rating was only at a 37.4%, but it's now at 51.5%. But you're right, it was higher in January.
Yeah, it's some positive PR. I think we can knock off a couple points.
Okay, let's just be honest with ourselves, guys. When she was running for president, what was her? She got nothing. Nobody liked her. They sniffed her ass out.
She dropped out before the first primary with less than 1% of the support.
Less than 1%, okay? And I 100% think that is a coup. And I'm tired of hearing the word democracy. It's nowhere in the Constitution, that word, in the Bill of Rights. I'm sick and tired of that shit. And the Democrats who scream democracy have just been duped. They all got their democracy screwed in their ass. And where's the outcry? Where are all you Democrats that are out there talking shit about the other side? Rob, 100% a coup. Can you imagine? They literally told the sitting president, if you don't step down, we're taking you down. Period. And it's not even they're hiding it anymore.
So if that's the case, and if they were able to threaten him to the point where they said, listen, we will easily get the 25th Amendment, and this will go through. We have the cabinet. So isn't that an admission that right now, if they have the ability to do that unless he stepped down, then they had the ability to go through with the 25th Amendment, which shows that in its current state, Joe Biden is not fit to serve as president. Because if they could use that as leverage to get him to force to step down, say we're gonna be able to prove that you're not fit, you cannot do this job unless you do this, then why aren't they doing it? Because he's clearly not fit. They have the evidence to get him to step down, but instead they go, okay, well, since you stepped down, we'll let you finish out your term. Is that in the best interest of democracy to have a guy that's senile and has some type of cognitive decline being the leader of the free world, even though you guys are saying if you don't do this, because we can prove that you're not fit, we're going to remove you unless you do this. So you do this, so we let you stay in office, even though you're not fit to stay in office.
Yeah.
Am I fucking crazy?
No, but if you think about it, bro, you know what it is? Rob, the babysitter is dead. If you think about it, he's gone. Now everybody that's around him is in charge. And everybody's like, who's running it? I had some loser liberal from California. Oh, Ravini, who's in charge? I go, guys, he's never made a decision, okay? Every single time he's in an interview and he goes like this, well, I can't talk. They said, who is they? Who is them? Them, they. It's not him. It's Anthony Blinken. It's Janet Yellen. It's Merrick Garland. It's Alejandro Mayorkas, bro. And it's probably a handful of other people. Barack Obama. They're telling him what to do, bro. He's a shill. And again, guys, him, Biden, or anybody that runs, even Kamala Harris, it's not about them. It's about anything to beat Trump. We don't give a shit who is going to run. He just can't win, and I think that's why, dude, I'm telling you guys right now, and we'll get into it later, he needs to watch his ass, bro. Trump, because they're running out of options. Come August, if she's still unpopular in that 50 range, it's a wrap, bro.
Yeah.
Before we play two videos, this is really interesting, and I didn't think to look back at this, but Connor made me think about this when I went to look at the previous approval ratings. Take a look at this, and I'll show this to these guys. At home as well. You can see this. Yes, there's Pornhub somewhere
right there.
But take a look. That green is approval. The red is disapproval.
Oh.
The beginning of this chart starts January 2021, the January 24th of 2021. Yeah. Biden is in office. Look at his favorability, green, all the way at the top.
It's dropping.
And look how they have flip-flopped. He went from an approval, when he first took office, his approval rating was 54%. His now disapproval rating surpasses his approval rating. He's at 55.5%. So after 3.5 years of these terrible policies, after a terrible administration, you look at this. This chart says it all. The entire country has flipped on their opinion of Joe Biden and his administration. Why would anybody vote for 4 more years of this?
You know why? Because they are brainwashed and they're bombarded, Rob. And these morons come home and they watch MSNBC. They watch Morning Joe. They watch The View. And they are brainwashed. And their brains are this small. When I say sheep, there's a photo of a sheep. It's a herd of sheep, and the gate is wide open, but they're all stuck in that one spot because it's like
there's a science to it, though. That there's a systematic way that they're able to manipulate people like that, and it's like that clip the lady said where it's a battle between the top 1%, and then that controls everything. Then there's 4% that works for the top 1% on behalf to influence the remaining 90%, and then the 5% and 4% are competing to influence 90%. But I mean, there's a reason that every president they come out, make all these promises, and then when they actually are in the presidency, they're completely different from what they promised. Trump was different than that because he's not controlled, but they all get talking to by somebody, the people that we don't see when they get into office, and that so that's why it doesn't matter if Biden gets taken out or not, because he was never in control. Most presidents are never actually in control of the thing, and it's not even Blinken or Mayorkas or anybody like that. They all get marching orders from people that we don't see.
Democratic Party is misleading their representatives.
Kelly, without a shadow of a doubt, they are lying, and I can't believe. Well, I can believe it because Kelly, I just slacked you a photo of the sheep that I tried to explain about. Kelly will pop it up for you guys. It's not that hard. Bro, when I tell people you don't hate, you never hated Trump. Mm-hmm. You were taught and brainwashed to hate Trump. It was a PSYOP mission.
And he is
Hitler, Orange, bad man, World War III, hate, Hitler. Bro, you say that enough times to a little soft-ass brain human being, especially these soft-ass, pussy-ass liberals in California. Dude, it works.
Yeah.
They keep repeating it. It's not that hard. Over and over and over.
Well, that's the science to it, and that's why everybody you argue with, they say the same exact lines as the media because it's programmed into them.
100%.
But by the way, Trump is a threat to democracy.
He really is.
Yeah, because when they say democracy, they don't mean the definition of it on paper. They mean the system they put in place that they got Bernie off the ticket when Bernie was likely to be the nominee in 2016. They got Tulsi off the ticket when she had a better chance in 2020. They didn't let RFK get on the ticket. So, they could have won the Democrats could have beaten Trump in 2024 easily if they let RFK get on the ticket or if they let Manchin or Tulsi get on the ticket as a Democrat. But they care so much about controlling the puppet that they get these ugly candidates that they know they can control. So that's what the democracy is they're trying to protect.
It's full of shit. What do you think, Connor?
Yeah, well, this is the other point, that the entire rise in Kamala Harris's popularity is completely astroturfed. It is not real. People do not like Harris more than they liked Biden. They certainly don't like her more than they used to. They are trying so hard to make Harris a thing just because they are desperate for something else. There's this whole, like Humberto talked about last week with the, Kamala Harris brat summer. They're making her a meme. They're trying to make her popular in the same way Trump was popular by grabbing onto social media, using TikTok, using influencers to try to make her this cultural talking point that everyone thinks is cool. No one's going to think that Walmart brand Hillary Clinton is cool, but they can try to sell it. And like Vinny said, the tiny little sheep brains will fall for it.
Yep.
And I have a confession to make. For a long time,
You're a white guy for Harris.
You're a white guy.
I am a white guy, but not for Harris. For a long time, I did not actually buy the idea that the Obamas were steering things within the Biden administration. I saw that a lot of their ideas, a lot of their policies were still in place, but I didn't think that Barack and Michelle were directly influencing things, because for the first couple of years, Barack and Biden had nothing to do with each other.
They
Like
hated
you,
each other.
you would,
Yeah,
you would
Barack
never
hates
you would
them.
never see him around. You would never see him doing anything. So it was hard to say he was the one pulling the strings. But in the last year and a half, give or take, the role you have seen them play in the administration, it's undeniable.
Yeah.
To the point where now it's very clear that Barack Obama is still steering things in the Democratic Party, whether he's the one fully in control or just the mouthpiece for the people who are. He has influence. And now that Biden is transitioning out, Michelle Obama is taking the same position with Harris, to the point where people are now calling her Harris's secret chief of staff. Basically, all the staffing decisions that Harris makes are being determined by Michelle Obama, to the point where when she eventually names her vice presidential pick, it's probably going to be because Michelle Obama told her to name that person.
Bro, and that's why people try to act, Connor, like they're like it's Barack Obama was on, who was it, Stephen Colbert, and he's like, man, if I could just be in a basement with the earpiece and telling the guy in charge to do it, that's exactly it. You know what I mean? Like that's exactly what. Like, bro, they don't even like. Kelly, can we show that picture? Or no? Can we? I text you. Oh well, I'm sorry. Well, I didn't want to cut him off. Connor was talking. So guys, this is the Democratic Party. See that video? See that photo right there? That's a herd of sheep leaving the stall, but guess what? There's no fence, only the gate. So look at all the sheep still go through that same thing, even though they know that they could leave and get out. That's that. So go figure. That's the Democratic Party in a nutshell. Just a bunch of sheep. Is that powerful, bro? The sheep are just like, well, we have to go this way.
You know what's more powerful? You didn't want to cut off a woman of color to show that photo. And I applaud you
Thank
for
you,
being an
because
ally of our
He's
community.
a BIPOC because he is Jamaican.
Yes,
So
he's
I
a-
know.
What is he, a BIPOC?
Yeah, Kelly, that's why
the son,
Kelly,
the
he's
son
a
of a
BIPOC.
the son of a Jamaican immigrant is speaking. Listen and
I'm
learn,
sorry.
Vinny.
I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell was wrong with me. What's up, everybody? Vincent O'Shaughnessy here. If you want to see me and the entire Valuetainment crew, we will be at the Vault Conference September 4th through the 7th at the Palm Beach Convention Center, hosted by none other than Patrick Bet-David and featuring Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Guys, this is the place to be. If you are an entrepreneur and you want to level up, do not miss this opportunity. This is the best place to network. If you want tickets, go to thevaultconference.com. Do not waste time. This thing is going to sell out, and I will see you guys there. Peace and love. So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.